Good afternoon, and welcome to Night Talk. I'm Joe Murphy, and I'm joined for this afternoon show by my co-host Mike Yakubik and my other co-host and boss here at the radio station, Mr. Joe Novoselsky. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, Joe.
Good afternoon.
Let's begin as we always do with our prayer to St. Michael. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen.
In
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
So how are you guys? We're past Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
He's always shadowing whether he did or he didn't. There's still 6 more weeks of winter on the calendar, so.
Yeah, I don't really like that guy. I'm going to go on record as
they
saying
say
that.
his wife Phyllis is retired and living in Florida, and that Phil is a perpetual liar. So you
Yes.
take that for what it is.
Yeah, I saw that also.
Well, I guess no matter how you look at it, I think what you said was true, Joe. No matter what we do, there's 6 more weeks of winter.
That's
and then
right.
spring will come, and then that's just
Yeah,
the way it
then
is.
it's all good
Yeah.
for 3 months. Yeah.
Just like today. Today, we're taping on Thursday, and the rain's coming down, and it's a chilly rain, but tomorrow's the nasty one.
Yeah, at least it's not snow. I mean,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, let us hope we all get in here tomorrow to tape the other show. So
That's right.
We'll see what happens.
Well, I wish you guys luck.
There you go. There you go. So what's on the agenda? I know Joe has got some stuff to talk to. You have stuff you've been talking to Dave Bloomer.
Yeah, Dave is district deputy. I think it's District 86. I'm not
I think
positive.
you're right. I think you're right.
But District 88.
88. Okay.
And they are starting up a new council.
Wow.
And that's always a good thing. And
Yeah.
and we're kind of lucky because what Dave has asked is he would like to, once they establish the council, he'd like to bring the new Grand Night on the radio show. And
Well,
they can
sure.
talk a little bit about
Yeah.
how to start up a council, why it's important to do this, especially during these times, to bring our men back into the faith. I know we're losing a lot of people not going to church and that, and this might be a way to do it. And so we're going to welcome Dave and the new Grand Night once everybody's elected and they're all on board and they get their membership number up to be an authorized council. It may be
is this gonna
before
be a
they get
parish?
their number. Yeah, it's I think it's the let me see, I can look here. I think the Mater Dei Traditional Latin Mass Congregation.
Oh, Mater Dei over on
Yeah,
State
right.
Street, Harrisburg. Terrific.
Yeah, and they're going to be starting one up, so that's really good.
Our guys at the cathedral, we meet right there in the old St. Lawrence building, so it'll be convenient for them because the church is part of that.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
So it's something new, and we'll have Dave and, like I said, the new Grand Night and whomever else he decides
Sure.
would be appropriate, and we can kind of talk about a couple of things. First of all, why they started one, the fact that they how you have to go through to get one started.
Yeah,
and,
it's
go
a
through the
lot of work,
process.
start to
It
finish.
is.
Yeah.
It really is. And I know you were a DD,
Yeah.
and you know what it's like, Joe. And it's not an easy thing. But
Well, I remember I was one of the
rewarding.
charter members when we started Cathedral Council, 1108.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and what we went through to get the 30 guys at that point, to get everything started and elected and up and running. Yeah.
it is. It's something.
Well, that's great. That's outstanding. Do I get the 4 now? Can I do my first commercial?
Yeah, you can do your first commercial if you want to.
Well, we're really happy that man, all the news breaks on this show. Do you know that?
Yes.
Every time there's something happening on the radio station, the news is broken here. So if you want to listen to what's going on at the radio station, listen to Night Talk. Okay, we are going to have Holy Family Radio benefit dinner. We haven't had one the last 2 years because of the COVID-19. So we're finally going to have one. It's going to be hosted this year at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Church, which happens to be my church. And we're really happy. It's going to be on Friday, April 29th. And that is a date that was selected because the bishop can be there. So we like to select the date on a day that the bishop will be able to be there. So Bishop Gaynor is going to be there, and our host is going to be Father Charles Persing. He's our pastor at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton. And our keynote speakers are going to be Dr. David Anders. You can hear Dr. Anders on his program every day on Holy Family Radio. It's called Call to Communion, and it's a great show. EWTN produces it every day at 2 o'clock. during the week. So if you haven't listened to that show, it's a really good show. Dr. Anders is a convert, and he knows a whole lot about our faith. He's a catechist, and he's an author, and he lives in Birmingham, Alabama. He's a recognized speaker at conferences, parishes, debates, and other venues. So we're really pleased to be able to get him. He's a top-line EWTN personality, and we're really happy that the board of directors has decided to bring in somebody of his stature. So that's pretty exciting. The tickets for that thing, it's a benefit dinner, so the tickets are $100 a person, and we're having it at my church this year to try to cut down on the costs. In the past, we've had it at a hotel, and the costs to rent a room and all of the peripherals at a hotel make our profit on that thing rather small. So by having it at my church, we have a beautiful facility there now that we just added a few years ago. So we're going to have it there, and there's going to be live music. There's going to be a meet and greet social hour at 6 o'clock, and we're going to have the dinner at 7, and there's going to be door prizes. The way we're going to do the door prizes is when you come in, everybody's going to get a ticket for the door prize. And if you want to buy another ticket or 2 or 10 or 100, you can, in order to increase your chances on getting a door prize. So, and we are taking donations for the door prizes because we're not buying anything as a door prize. So if you have something that you would like to consider getting for us for a door prize, we're thinking maybe we have great supporters of Holy Family Radio at like Barrett's Religious Goods and Our Lady's Rosary in Hummelstown. Those are 2 places to get like religious things like statues and those kinds of things, or religious art. If you want to do that, just give us a call here at Holy Family Radio, or send us an email at contact@720whyf.com. So we're going to get this. This is the first time we're talking about this on the air. We're going to be sending out an invitation to everybody, but you can go on our website to find out information. Our website is 720whyf.com, by the way, and you can get all the information that you need to know there. The deadline for registration is April 6th, so we're giving you a lot of notice, and we want to try to get, our room fits 300 people. Now, the most we've ever had at one of these dinners is, we've almost had 100, I think, in the past.
Yeah, 100 or 110 maybe. Yeah.
So our room fits 300 people, okay? So we'd like to be able to, fill our room as much as we possibly can. So we're really excited about it. We haven't picked the menu yet. Our chef is saying, let's wait as long as we can because the price of food is going up as we speak.
Yes.
So we're going to have a quality dinner that's going to be better than you find at a banquet at a hotel. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to be quality dinner. What would you say about the hotel food, Joe?
Well, you call it rubber chicken anytime you go to a dinner. But,
yeah, exactly.
Here's the deal. Okay, number one, it's out at Joe's church. Number two, the guys that are involved that are going to be doing the cooking for us are also our brother knights that are running fish
fries. I was going to lead to that, yes.
And spaghetti dinners, and trust me, they're not going to put junk on the table for you.
That's right. We're going to have the knights. The knights are going to be doing the cooking. They're going to be helping out with the whole process throughout it, and that's also going to save the radio station money. So we're really excited about having one of these things for the first time in 2 years, and we want to try to get. I want to invite everybody, all the councils, to consider, sending somebody, 2 or 3. We'd love to have any Grand Knights that are going to be there. We're going to introduce them. The Knights of Columbus have been a support of Holy Family Radio since the very beginning. Everybody listening probably knows that. This time around, it's going to be, boots on the ground, as they say, because these are Knights. My council, and we're going to be looking for some help from some other councils to help us get this thing to be as profitable for Holy Family Radio as we can, because as you know, we're behind the 8 ball when it comes to our budget, because our major fundraiser has always traditionally been this dinner, and when you don't have that major fundraiser 2 years in a row, we're behind the 8 ball when it comes to money. So we hate to beg for money, but we'd love you had to come that night. It's going to be a great night. We're going to have good food, good fellowship. We're going to have a great speaker, Monsignor King, who is instrumental in starting getting Holy Family Radio on the air. He's going to be coming up from Mount St. Mary's. Father Timothy Assad, our spiritual advisor, is going to be there, and of course Bishop Gaynor, as I mentioned, and our speaker, Dr. David Anders. So it's really going to be a good thing. So that's my spiel.
Well, yeah, you like I know, because I'm here all the time, and Mike knows that there was a lot of legwork And a lot of phone calls between here and Iredale, Alabama, until we nail down Dr. David Anders. So if you get a chance, come and see. The other thing is, since we're coming up, we have about 2.5 or so minutes here until we go to the break. The new app is up and running, and I've heard a lot of nice comments, not just from my wife and family members, but a lot of nice comments on the work that you and a cast of thousands did in the background. So thank you for that.
Yeah, if you haven't downloaded the app, it's been we've gotten a lot of good feedback from it. Every time I go to church, people are talking about how easy the app is. And I think I'm the one that coined the term. It's like a one-touch play, which once you download the app, if you want to listen to the radio station, you just press the icon on your phone, and in one touch, it will begin to play. And I wanted to make an app that was easy for people that are not technically advanced people. I'm looking at Mike Kubik right now when I said that.
Or you were
scraping the bottom there. I tell you, also want to put a shout out to the podcast, because Dave Bloomer, our district deputy that we're going to try to have on with the new council coming in, he said he was listening to the podcast, and he said that's when it struck him. He said, boy, this might be a good show, is to have a new night coming in, a new council. And so I know people are out there listening to it. I know that Joe takes a lot of time and effort to put the podcast together, get it downloaded, get it uploaded, and let us all be able to hear that at our convenience. I think that's
right,
the big
that's
thing.
The key, yeah.
It's our convenience.
Yeah, and I probably mentioned during the summer when we were doing a show that when I'm cutting the grass, when I'm doing the lawn, I'm listening to the podcast from the radio station.
Yeah, it's so much easier. Yeah. Because you don't have to be, it's kind of hard to say, well, I'd really and truly like to listen to Night Talk or whatever the show is. You have a time constraint. You better be near a radio between 12 and 12:30 or 12:30 and 1 on the weekend. You have to schedule that. Well, that's kind of tough. But it's nice with the app where you just push the button and say, oh, I'm going to listen to Night Talk, and it happens to be a Sunday afternoon. I'm out for a drive with the missus, going to stop over at Dairy Queen, and half hour's gone.
Well, that's one of the things I also wanted to mention real fast. I know we're going to run out of time here, but there's 2 ways that we can raise money for Holy Family Radio that we're not right now. And number one is we can have people sponsor our podcasts. Okay, and the way that works is if you're have a company, you can do it. You can sponsor a podcast for a period of time. Also, we're looking for people to sponsor the cost of running that app, because that costs us money each month. It costs us money to develop it, and then it costs us money to keep that thing maintained. So if anyone wants to sponsor either a podcast or that app, contact at 720whf.com.
Or call us at 717-525-8110. And if it goes to voicemail, leave a message. We will get back to you, I promise.
And you'll be surely recognized.
That's right.
There you go. Let's go to a break, guys, and we'll pick this up on the other side. We'll be back right after these messages. And welcome back to Night Talk. We're back after the other side of the break, and we have some stuff that I don't know how I want to phrase this, so I'll run it by the boss, and then we'll go from there.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
No, because we're doing upgrading, believe it or not. Finally, we've had some donations and anonymous donors come in, so we are basically in our infancy, if you will. We're going to be upgrading, getting new computers. We're going to be getting, hopefully, a new soundboard and some new microphones in here going forward over the next couple of months.
I'm looking forward to getting a new power conditioner. We have a power conditioner that the alarm goes off whenever you don't want it to. So it hasn't gone off so far this recording session, but it might. We still have about 11 minutes to go. So
if you hear a high-pitched beep, 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 beep here coming from my microphone, the power supply battery backup is down underneath the desk here where I'm sitting. So.
Yeah, and we're going to be, I think, having a burial service for that very soon. I think.
We're going to take it down and throw it off the Walnut Street Bridge or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we are very fortunate that we are able to, this equipment, and I don't know if I mentioned this before on Night Talk, but when I come in here and I look at some of the We have preamps that I recognize it's the same model that we used when I was in high school in 1974. It's the same one. Some of this equipment is literally, I'm not exaggerating, it's from the 1970s.
Oh, yeah. And we have been band-aiding and duct taping as necessary to keep it going.
Yeah.
And now we've had some anonymous donors step forward. And so we're going to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have the dinner and the pledge drives on the radio, because that's what keeps us going.
Yeah, our problem is our engineer does a good job in trying to keep this stuff going, but we're to the point now where you can't get replacement parts for some of our equipment, and he's tried to make modifications all over the place to try to keep this equipment going. So we want to try to keep Holy Family as professional as we possibly can, get as good a sound as we can, and that's where we need support from our listeners. So we talk all the time about how, we call our listeners family, and, we can't do this without the family listeners we have. And that's why the Knights of Columbus are so important. They've helped us from the very beginning. So as we go, go back to the dinner thing, we're looking for a lot of support from the Knights again for that dinner. So
and we will get it, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind, because they're going to do everything from cooking and cleaning up to
Yes.
to doing what they do. I mean, if you come in here to the studios, the ceiling tiles, the new lights, the electric, the desks that we're using here in the studio, was all put together with blood, sweat, and tears, if you will, by the Knights. That had different, carpentry skills or electrical skills or plumbing skills or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys talking about 1970s, but just so everybody knows, I was here when we put the panel board in,
Yeah.
No.
and underneath it on the metal scratched in, "I was here, Marconi." So I'm talking, I think we're probably 50, you guys are talking about 50 years later.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a little bit older stuff.
Yeah.
Before we get too far in, there was something I wanted to mention, and it deals with a lot of the priests in our area. Joe had talked about the dinner coming up, and that it's going to be held out at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton. And, this is a shout out to the priest and the managers of our parishes. Here's St. Elizabeth Ann Seton giving up their facilities to do something good for the evangelization and keeping this radio station on the air. And I think they deserve thanks. I'd like to thank St. Joseph's Parish, our two priests and our office manager for the same thing. They do a fantastic job. They're going to allow us to do our bingo on February 20th. Every dime that we collect, we don't have to pay anything back to the church, for the use of their facilities. Every dime we collect is going to go to Morning Star Pregnancy Centers for their 3 new ultrasound machines. And then thank be to God, with the Knights of Columbus Supreme Council, with what they've authorized is whatever you donate, if you come to the bingo and you play and you have your money and you gamble a little bit, before Lent coming up, so it's a good time to get that out of your system. You come in, everything's going to be doubled because there's man sheet funds from Supreme. So, it's something to think about. And again, I'd like to thank our priests because I know that they just do an outstanding job with, turning their heads a little bit and saying, yeah, go ahead, use our facilities and, for the greater glory of God. And I think they deserve to be recognized.
That's right. When I talked to Father Charles about the possibility of doing this, he said, yes, before I could even get the rest of my question out.
It's amazing,
yeah.
Joe. It really is the way that they step up. And so if you see your priest this weekend, thank them.
Yeah, they don't get enough thanks. They only get complaints.
Never do. No.
And you know what, truthfully, is they know, especially with the Knights, because we're all brother Knights. But when you go in and you ask to use a facility, the kitchen or the gymnasium for the free throws or whatever the case may be, Father Persing or Father Rosman or whoever it happens to be, they know that when we walk out of that building and turn the lights off, it's going to be as clean as it was when we walked in. And so then when you go and you ask a second time, you're more apt to say yes.
Yeah, we just did the district 3-throw
Yes, you
at
did.
my church last week. We did ours. We did the council one in the morning, and then we did the district one in the afternoon, and it went really, really well. That's the first time we've done that in our new gym, our new facility that we built a few years ago, And it went really, really well. And that was another thing when we asked if we could do that. Again, it was yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
everything is a yes. And I think it just shows you the caliber of priests that we have in the Diocese of Harrisburg.
We
And
are
I think-
fortunate.
and I think it all falls back on, who's leading the flock. And Bishop Gaynor is right there up in the forefront.
Yeah, we had exemplification a few weeks back at our church, the first one we've had in a while at our church, and Father Charles was there, happy to be there. Again, we asked, we told him when it was, and he showed up, and he was pleased to be there. So I think he knew that we were going to have refreshments afterwards. So it was,
that was the overriding factor.
yeah.
So sometimes that works, yeah.
So that's the same thing, the Knights in Action, the group has started up. We're looking forward to becoming a 501c3. We haven't accomplished that yet, and we still have to wait for the articles of corporation to be accepted by the state. But the main reason we're starting that is because of the fact that for all these years we've always asked our bishop, what would you like the Knights of Columbus to do at the diocesan level? And I'm not joking. Every time you go into a meeting with them, he says, you guys do enough. I don't need anything. You guys do enough. I don't need anything. Finally, our past state deputy, former Vice Supreme Master, Wayne Free, just kept pushing at the meeting. And finally, he says, he said, I could use some help with Camp Kirkenwald. And that's the main thing we're going to be looking at. Our goal is to raise the entire dollar amount, which is somewhere around $11,000, to do Camp Kirkenwald. To that end, we're going to have a golf tournament. It's already scheduled. It's going to be at Carlisle Barracks on June 11th at 8 o'clock in the morning or 8:30. I'm not sure right now, but I will tell you. You can go to our website, knightsinaction.org, and on there you'll find golf registration. You can also go to the About page, and that will tell you how we would like to see this accomplished. And one of the things we're asking for, just so you all know, we would like to see every council, every assembly in the Diocese of Harrisburg come up with 3 sponsors, 3 $100 sponsors. Don't think that's asking a lot. It should also not affect you for your normal fundraising events, because if you go to 15 or 20 and now we're just asking you to give 3 for this specific function, with a little bit of luck, if everybody gets behind this, we could raise $13,000 just on that alone.
And that would cover that whole
That would
week
cover
that
the
we
whole-
rent the
right.
Camp Kirkenwald.
And that would be something. And again, my brother Knights, we need to stick up. Like I said, our bishop has never asked anything of us. He's not asking this of us. He actually just said, yeah, I could use a little bit of help here, because it's something that's not budgeted.
Yep.
And so, we'd love to have you play. You can do it by just going on there. There's a golf registration form. It lists right up at the top. It actually made it real hard for you. It says golf registration. And that's kind of it. But if you want to know a little bit about why we're doing it and how we're doing it, go to About, and then it'll explain a little bit.
The whole thing, because going forward, and Mike, because I think you were involved, the diocese, we rent that camp for the week for the learning disabled, and we take them up there for the week, and they have their sponsors that are with them to kind of guide them around and get sure that they get their fun activities done and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But the Knights have put roofs on buildings. We've repaired some cabins and different things up there over the years, and Bishop has never asked us for anything. We basically will fund the money on our own and go and pay for the week, so that the bishop doesn't have to put that money in the diocesan budget.
Yeah, I think, if you go to the diocesan website and go to the disability ministry,
Yes.
you can see some pictures about Kirkenwald, and you see nothing but smiles, happy faces. And I'm talking about everybody, not just the individuals that are there, but the volunteers that are helping them, and then our bishop while he's administering to them. So I think it's something that we should really get behind, and I'd love to see everyone jump in on this feet first and do some good.
Well, that's one of the things. I know being prideful is sinful, but I got to say, I'm proud to be a Knight, okay? And I think it's okay for us to be proud to be part of this organization. It is just the most fantastic Catholic organization that we have. It's-
And they're doing wonderful things worldwide.
Yeah.
I mean, people, maybe they don't realize, I'm just going to cast the net out there, because anytime you see a mass from the Vatican, the satellite dishes and the cameras and stuff over there, guess who paid for them?
yeah,
The Knights of Columbus up in Connecticut.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no doubt that when it comes to evangelization, the Knights are doing their fair share. They
Right.
really are.
Yeah,
And again, I feel like you do. I am proud to be a member of the Knights Club.
Amen.
You know, that's why, like I said, go back to the dinner thing. Boy, I'm hitting that on the head here today. But we got to get all the councils involved in supporting that financially.
I mean, this kind of thing, Joe, you'd love to see an entire table
Oh my
be
gosh,
from each council.
that would be
I
amazing.
mean, that
yeah.
would really be fantastic.
Yeah,
And if you can't do that, it'd be a great evening out for the Grand Knight and his missus.
that's what I'm
and
thinking.
It's
Yep.
just a wonderful thing to do.
Yep.
It really is.
All right, guys, we're up against the clock again for the second half of the show. I want to thank Mike and Joe for joining me for this afternoon show. I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed bringing it to you. So, along with Mike Yakubik and Joe Nevesinski, I'm Joe Murphy. Thank you for listening. God bless. Stay safe out there.